What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the Research CBD and THC. I don't know why I did this with my arms. YouTube channel. My name is Torabi. I'm one of the co-founders, and today we're talking all things updates regarding SB3, where we're going with a special session, and just keeping you in the know on Texas legislation as it pertains to hemp. It's a big video. I'm excited to get into it, so let's dive in. All right, so I'm gonna start with a little recap of SB3, where that landed in Texas, because if you're in Texas, if you are outside of the state of Texas, honestly, this affects you, because if you're in Texas, SB3 is a really big deal for hemp consumers. If you're out of the state of Texas and you love ordering from us, obviously this greatly affects you as well. So SB3, as a recap, was a ban presented during our 89th legislative session that would ban essentially the sales and possession and manufacturing, the growing, pretty much ban everything pertaining to hemp except for pure CBD and pure CBG. Now that would get rid of things like Delta 8, Delta 9, CBN, CBC, THCV, which obviously not all of those are psychoactive cannabinoids, but it would impact the industry in a very negative way. Thankfully, in the final hours, I think the final 30 or 20 minutes of the time that was allowed for Governor Abbott to veto or sign the bill into law, he vetoed it. So spoiler alert, we're still good right now. Leading up to that moment though, so our session ended, I don't know, maybe May something. And then there was a time period where the governor had about 20 days for any bill presented to him to either be signed into law, to be vetoed, or just to let it sit and let it become law. That's just how it works, and that's just what happens. So in the final hours, like I said, the governor vetoed that bill. So yay, amazing, awesome. We're obviously very excited for that veto. It left us on our toes for a very long time and stressed out the wazoo until that moment, but we are obviously very grateful and very excited to have the opportunity to enter the special session. Now, prior to this veto, there was a lot of talk and applause from our Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, which is, I'm not gonna lie, he's not everyone's favorite person on the Republican side, on the Democratic side. Just, he is not the most well-liked guy in office, in his position, and it's very apparent based on the governor's response. But leading up to it, he was very confident about SB3 getting passed. He ended up pushing for it to get passed. There's a lot of ins and outs. There's things on the medical lobbying side, on the alcohol lobbying side that were lobbying pretty much against hemp. There's, news out there that he was working with them in some capacity, or that they were funding his campaign. So I'm not going to go into the details. I will encourage you to do a little bit of Google research, some ChatGPTing, whatever have you, to figure all of that out. But today's focus is on what the heck is a special session, how do we go into the special session, and what does it actually mean? Before we go into that, I do want to touch on why the governor ended up vetoing SB3, and he came out with a proclamation pretty much stating word by word why he did it. So I'm going to read from it. In his proclamation, Governor Abbott called for strict regulations of hemp products, meaning that he wasn't for banning, he was for regulation, which is fantastic, which is what we've been asking for, suggesting that the TABC, as the enforcement body and listing regulations he would like to see, which are mostly from House versions of the bill, and essentially he just wants to see more control over the quality of the product, where it's coming from, the dosing, and where it's sold so that children aren't getting a hold of it, yada, all of those things. So Abbott pretty much said that he was going to face legal challenges. There was already lawsuits getting filed against the state of Texas from companies before a veto or a sign was taking place. So the governor decided to take some action and just scrap that, didn't want to touch legal action, and instead vetoed the bill. So we are very grateful for Governor Abbott in this case, and we are so excited to have, again, the opportunity to advocate and push for hemp regulations and just grow this industry in Texas. Something else that I do want to touch on is the reaction from our Lieutenant Governor. He was not happy with the veto. Obviously, this entire session, he's been spewing out to the media, honestly, a lot of lies, a lot of nonsense, and was very confident that he was going to ban hemp in Texas. So when he had a press conference, I think a day or two after the veto, honestly, he was pissed. You can go watch it on YouTube. You can find it on the internet. You can also go to our Instagram channel because we have little clips and highlights from there. He mentions things like my friend Governor Abbott, blah, 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 and then proceeds to essentially bulldoze everything that he is doing and why he doesn't agree with his decision. I digress. I just personally obviously don't love the guy. I don't think he's super popular in general, our lieutenant governor. And I just thought it was really interesting sidebar that he was reacting the way he did. To me, it felt a little bit like
someone just a little baby complaining about
not getting their way or being told no, rather than just owning up to what was happening and understanding that he was being paid by lobbyists and he just didn't go his way. Also, my dog has entered the chat, so she's just gonna be here if that's okay. So now let's get into the special session. What does that mean? How do we do this thing? Are we gonna have to go through the whole agenda again like we did in the first legislative session? And the answer is like kind of. So the special session kicks off on July 21st and it goes for 30 days. Now, essentially during those 30 days, this new bill, so another sidebar, the Texas Hemp Coalition, we are executive board members. Shayna, my sister, co-founder, is the vice president this year of the Texas Hemp Coalition. And we worked a lot of man hours, put a lot of time and energy into creating edits to SB3 that was presented, that Representative King presented to the House on when people were gonna vote. I'm also obviously using some interesting words, but I think you get the gist of what's going on. So we helped edit a version of SB3 to allow for certain products to make sure that there was, regulations put in place, age gating, certain protective packaging, and just ensuring that it was going to be presented for the public in a very safe way to, again, get regulation and not eliminate this industry and these products for people that genuinely use them for PTSD, for sleep, for pain, for general anxiety, giving people easy access and having a trusted source to get these things from. Special session kicks off on July 21st, like I said. Essentially, why we go into this is the 30-day period. So what's going to happen is it's going to be reviewed. We're going to resubmit our version of the bill with edits, and the House and the Senate are going to go at it. They're going to vote, and we're going to see what comes of it. Now, the catch, the caveat, whatever have you to this, in those 30 days, if nothing happens, the governor can ask for it to be extended and essentially get another 30 days until we reach a point where either we have better regulation, we come to an agreement, whatever happens, or nothing could happen. And we're exactly where we started. We know for a fact that the governor is very adamant on creating regulation within our industry. He states it many times in his proclamation after the veto. So I have a feeling, personal gut feeling, that he's just not gonna let it slide and we're not gonna revert back to what we're doing right now. But you never know. Obviously, we didn't think that SB3 would even get as far as it did, and it did. So really anything could happen during the special session. So some of the outcomes could be like stricter rules, age gating, not being able to open shops near schools or parks, what have you. It could be that we are under now the TABC regulation. So it could really be anything, or it could be nothing, or something in between. So we're just gonna see how that unfolds. Again, it kicks off on the 21st, but leading into that special session, the coalition, we are meeting with the governor's office. We're going back to the Capitol. My sister in particular is going to be speaking to those representatives, and we will ask very soon, it's July 2nd right now, probably the next 10 days or so, for you, our consumers, to reach out to your local House reps and senators, because in the beginning, that's what we were asking you to do, emailing, calling, sending physical letters, and it was awesome. There were hundreds of thousands of people that reached out, and I think that was extremely impactful for their office to see. And now it's time to kind of do it again, but just in a different light, a different manner. So now you may be asking, why does it matter? What's going to come from this? And the answer is it matters because, again, if you are a business owner, if you are working in the state of Texas with anything hemp-wise, you don't even have to be in the hemp industry. If you're a bar that sells CBD or CBD or THC beverages, if you're a restaurant, if you're a local gas station, if you're just a wellness store, if you sell any kinds of these hemp products and that's bringing in some sort of revenue for you, if you're a part of real estate, if you lease to CBD shop owners, if you're in manufacturing, there are so many different avenues to this that is really impactful for not just the hemp industry, but the local economy. And so if something does happen that's not in our favor, that's going to really impact how we move forward as a business and how Texas can move forward and make money and support our local economy. Now, if you are a consumer in the state of Texas, obviously we're not going to revert back to the, old original bill, the OG bill of SB3. We're not going to ban everything, but there still can be some interesting regulations put in place. So as a consumer, it's very, very important to pay attention to this kind of stuff because you want to stay compliant, you want to stay legal, you want to make sure that you're getting high quality products, and you want to know if something happens, how to gain access and keep getting the products that you know and love, or how to obtain them to manage your stress, to manage your PTSD, to manage your sleep. So we are here to help educate under all those avenues and hope that this video, amongst others, help to do so. All in all, it is a really interesting process being a part of the political system, especially here in Texas. I'm sure even larger, on a larger scale for the United States. But as we focus here on our local efforts in Texas, we're going to be making more updates on our Instagram account where we're probably just constantly, like every single day, talking about something on there. I would encourage you to follow us on Instagram at Restart CBD. Also, the Texas Hemp Coalition on Instagram is a really great platform for information from our other fellow business owners in the state who are also posting amazing content. Other things that are happening is my sister Shada is also heading to the Capitol with the president of the coalition and our director, our lobbyist, to speak with, like I said, the governor's office, other House members, Senate members, just to give feedback and understand what the heck is going on. And that is happening on, I believe, July 10th. And then from there, we should have more information on how to take action, what to say, scripts. So all of that, just like during the legislative session, there's blog posts, there's scripts. If you don't know what to say, how to call, who to call, where to go. So all of that, again, it's very, very confusing of a process. We're trying to make this process as easy to digest as possible because it is a lot of information. So I think that's it. If you have more questions, obviously, please let us know in the comments and we will happily answer them for you, either in the comments or in another video. And we always just appreciate you watching, appreciate you supporting our business. And we are so, literally, I could cry. We are so excited. Like, it gives me chills that SB3 was vetoed and that we get to still employ our employees, we get to still stay in business, that we can still provide to you guys, our customers, our followers, our OG Restart fam, okay? This is a big deal. So we're happy to be part of it. We're happy to lead the conversation, lead the charge, and hope that even more good comes out of this special session. Oh, and make sure to subscribe and like this video if you like this video. Okay, bye.